Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Abhishek Mukhopadhyay with the Midday News. The headlines. Polling to elect the 16th President of India at Parliament House along with different state assemblies is underway, counting to be taken up on Thursday. Monsoon session of Parliament begins today. Lok Sabha adjourned till 2 p.m. due to the ongoing presidential election. Rajya Sabha adjourned for the day following ruckus by opposition members on price rise and other issues. NDA Vice Presidential candidate Jagdeep Dhankar files his nomination papers today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address Naval Innovation and Indigenization Organization Seminar Swavlamban in New Delhi this evening. New rates of goods and services tax on a number of items come into effect from today. Chief of Army Staff General Manoj Pandey is in Dhaka on a 3-day official visit to hold meetings with senior officials of the security establishment and exchange views on various defence-related issues. 12 people die as a bus falls into Narmada River at Dhaar in Madhya Pradesh. Prime Minister Narendra Modi expresses grief at loss of lives. And today is International Nelson Mandela Day. The polling to elect the 16th President of India is underway. Polling, which began in the Parliament House and the premises of the State Legislative Assemblies at 10 a.m., will continue till 5 p.m. The term of office of President Ramnath Kovind is ending on the 24th of July.
Former Jharkhand Governor Draupadi Murmu is the NDA candidate, while former Union Minister Yashwant Sinha is contesting as a joint opposition candidate for the top post. The total number of electors are 4,809, including 776 members of parliament and 4,033 members of legislative assemblies. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Union Ministers Anurag Thakur, Piyush Goyal and Mansukh Mandavia were the first to cast their votes in the Parliament House. The counting of the votes will take place on Thursday. With Dipendra, Anupam Mishra, AR News, Delhi.
Union Ministers Amit Shah and Rajnath Singh, BJP President JP Nadda, former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh, NCP Chief Sharad Pawar, NC Leader Farooq Abdullah, SP Leader Ram Gopal Yadav and others also cast their votes. Briefing media at Parliament House, Rajya Sabha Secretary General PC Modi said all necessary arrangements have been made in Parliament House to ensure free and fair election. Earlier, talking to media outside Parliament, Parliamentary Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi expressed confidence that NDA candidate Ms. Murmu will emerge victorious. Polling is going on for presidential election in Uttarakhand. Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami and other MLAs cast their votes in the State Assembly, Dehradun. The Chief Minister said that NDA candidate Draupadi Murmu will register a win. He said all BJP MLAs, along with BSP and independent MLAs, have assured their support to her.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi today expressed hope that the monsoon session of Parliament will be productive and fruitful. In a statement ahead of the session, Mr. Modi said that Parliament is a forum for discussions with open mind. He urged all MPs to contemplate deeply and discuss.
हम हमेशा सदन को संवाद का एक सक्षम माध्यम मानते हैं, जहां खुले मन से संवाद हो, जरूरत पड़े तो वाद विवाद हो, आलोचना भी हो, ताकि नीति और निर्णयों में बहुत ही सकारात्मक योगदान हो सके। मैं सभी आदरणीय सांसदों से यही आग्रह करूंगा कि गहन चिंतन, गहन चर्चा और सदन को हम जितना ज्यादा प्रोडक्टिव बना सके, सदन को जितना ज्यादा फ्रूटफुल बना सके, उसलिए सबका सहयोग हो और सबके प्रयास से ही लोकतंत्र चलता है।
The Prime Minister said this session is also important because elections for the President and the Vice President are taking place.
राष्ट्र में नई ऊर्जा भरने के लिए निमित्त बने, उस अर्थ में ये सत्र भी बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है। ये सत्र इसलिए भी महत्वपूर्ण है कि इसी समय राष्ट्रपति पद और उपराष्ट्रपति पद के चुनाव हो रहे हैं, आज मतदान भी हो रहा है और इसी कालखंड में देश को नए राष्ट्रपति, नए उपराष्ट्रपति, उनका मार्गदर्शन प्रारंभ होगा। हम हमेशा सदन को संवाद का एक सक्षम माध्यम मानते हैं।
Mr. Modi also said this period is extremely significant as we are celebrating Azadi का अमृत महोत्सव।
ये कालखंड एक प्रकार से बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है। ये आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव का कालखंड है। 15 अगस्त का विशेष महत्व है और आने वाले 25 साल के लिए देश जब शताब्दी मनाएगा तो हमारी 25 साल की यात्रा कैसी रहे, हम कितनी तेज गति से चले, कितनी नई ऊंचाइयों को पार करें, इसके संकल्प लेने का एक कालखंड है और उन संकल्पों के प्रति समर्पित होकर के देश को दिशा देना, सदन देश का नेतृत्व करे, सदन के सभी माननीय सदस्य राष्ट्र में नई ऊर्जा भरने के लिए निमित्त बने, उस अर्थ में ये सत्र भी बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है।
The Lok Sabha was adjourned till 2 p.m. on the opening day of the monsoon session of the Parliament due to the ongoing polling to elect the 16th President of the country. Speaker Om Birla said any voting is a festival and the House proceedings will resume afterwards. As soon as the House met for the day, Lok Sabha Speaker paid tribute to former MPs and read out the obituary. The members observed a 2-minute silence. The House also paid tribute to former United Arab Emirates President Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, former Kenya President Mwai Kibaki and former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. Mr. Birla said Mr. Abe was assassinated on the 8th of July during a campaign rally in Nara city in Japan. The Speaker also remembered Abe's address in Parliament. Earlier, 3 newly elected Lok Sabha members, Ghanshyam Singh Lodhi from Rampur and Dinesh Lal Yadav Nirhua from Azamgarh in Uttar Pradesh, along with Shatrughan Prasad Sinha from Asansol in West Bengal, took oath.
The Rajya Sabha was adjourned for the day following ruckus by opposition members on the issue of price rise and GST hike on the first day of the monsoon session of Parliament. When the House met this morning, Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu made an announcement that Union Minister Piyush Goyal has been appointed as leader of the House. While making his opening remarks, Mr. Naidu said his 5-year tenure as a chairman was a learning experience and he tried to do his best. Mr. Naidu urged the MPs to be different and better than they were in the last 5 years when 57% of the House sitting was partly or fully disrupted.
This journey of 5 years has been a quite learning experience for me. Dealing with about 245 members of this August House from over 30 political parties with different minds, inclinations and political ideologies is quite revealing and even a testing experience. I try to do the best of my ability to draw the best out of all of you and as a corrective effort, since the underlying unifying force was the interest of the nation and fulfill the aspirations of the people and also the federal interest of the states, that this Council of States was required to subserve. The credit for the positives, if any, would go to all of you.
When the chairman was making his remarks, opposition members from the Congress, AAP and others trooped to the well on the price rise and GST hike. Members from left, DMK, Shiv Sena, RJD, NCP and others were also on their feet. As the noisy scenes continued, the House was adjourned for the day. Earlier, 28 newly elected members were administered oath. They include Aditya Prasad and Jaggesh of BJP, Congress leaders P. Chidambaram, Randeep Surjewala, Rajiv Shukla, Pramod Tiwari, Vijay Sai Reddy of YSR Congress, Praful Patel of NCP, Misa Bharti of RJD, Sanjay Raut of Shiv Sena, Sachmit Patra of BJD and Harbhajan Singh of AAP. The House also paid tribute to former Prime Minister of Japan Shinzo Abe, former President of the United Arab Emirates Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan and 3 former members of the House who passed away recently. The House observed 2-minute silence as a mark of respect. News just in, a total of 616 lawmakers have cast their votes till 1 p.m. in the presidential election at Parliament House. NDA Vice Presidential candidate Jagdeep Dhankar today filed his nomination. He filed his nomination papers in the presence of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Union Ministers Amit Shah, Rajnath Singh and Nitin Gadkari and NDA leaders. Talking to media outside Parliament, Mr. Dhankar said he never thought even in his dreams that a person with a humble background like him would get this opportunity. He added that he will always strive to enhance democratic values in the country.
I am grateful to the Honorable Prime Minister and the leadership that an humble man like me from Kisan family who would never have got education but for scholarship has been given this historic opportunity. I take it as a major milestone reflection of the events in which we are at the moment. I am grateful.
The election for the Vice President's post will be held on the 6th of next month. Tomorrow is the last date for filing nomination. Opposition has fielded former Union Minister Margaret Alva for the post.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address the Naval Innovation and Indigenization Organization Seminar Swavlamban in New Delhi today. The Prime Minister will unveil sprint challenges aimed at giving a boost to the usage of indigenous technology in the Indian Navy. This is part of the efforts to attain self-reliance in the defense sector. More from a correspondent.
The two-day seminar aims to engage Indian industry and academia towards achieving self-reliance in the defense sector. It will provide a platform for leaders from industry, academia, services and government to come together on a common platform to ideate and come up with recommendations for the defense sector. The sessions dedicated to innovation, indigenization, armament and aviation will be held. The second day of the seminar will witness outreach to the Indian Ocean region in line with the government's vision of Sagar, security and growth for all in the region. As part of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, NIIO, in conjunction with the Defence Innovation Organization, aims at inducting at least 75 new indigenous technologies and products in the Indian Navy. With Dipendra Kumar, Anupam Mishra, AR News, Delhi.
News just in, Lok Sabha has been adjourned for the day. The new Goods and Services Tax GST rates on a number of items come into effect from today. Certain items will attract more GST, while the rates on certain things are coming down from today. The exemption from GST on a number of items have been withdrawn. The decision to change the GST rate has been taken during the 47th GST Council meeting held in Chandigarh last month. 18% GST will be charged by banks on fee for the issuing of checks. Hotel accommodation priced up to 1,000 rupees per day will be taxed at 12%. Solar water heater will now attract 12% GST as compared to 5% earlier. GST on e-waste has increased to 18% from earlier rate of 5%. The tax will be cut on transport of goods and passengers by ropeways to 5% from 12%. The electric vehicles are eligible for the concessional GST rate of 5%. GST exemption on the transport of passengers by air to and from northeastern states and Bagdogra will be restricted to economy class only.
More than 200 crore 4 lakh COVID vaccine doses have been administered in the country so far. The Health Ministry said more than 4,46,000 vaccine doses were administered in the last 24 hours. During the same period, 16,935 new COVID cases were reported in the country. India's active caseload currently stands at over 1,44,000 and it is at 0.33%. The recovery rate is currently at 98.47%.
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Polling to elect the 16th President of India at the Parliament House along with different state assemblies is underway, counting to be taken up on Thursday. Monsoon session of Parliament begins today. Lok Sabha adjourned for the day due to the ongoing presidential election. Rajya Sabha adjourned for the day following ruckus by opposition members on price rise and other issues. NDA Vice Presidential candidate Jagdeep Dhankar files his nomination papers today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address Naval Innovation and Indigenization Organization Seminar Swavlamban in New Delhi this evening. New rates of goods and services tax on a number of items come into effect from today. Chief of Army Staff General Manoj Pandey is in Dhaka on a 3-day official visit to hold meetings with senior officials of the security establishment and exchange views on various defense-related issues. 12 people die as a bus falls in Narmada River at Dhaar in Madhya Pradesh. Prime Minister Narendra Modi expresses grief on the loss of lives. And today is International Nelson Mandela Day. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
अब हर घर की छत पर शान से फहरेगा तिरंगा, गुनगुनाए जाएंगे नव विकास के गीत, आन बान शान का प्रतीक राष्ट्रध्वज तिरंगा। आइए आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव के पावन अवसर पर इस स्वाधीनता दिवस हर घर फहराते हैं तिरंगा और लेते हैं भव्य और सशक्त भारत के निर्माण का संकल्प।
आइए हर घर फहराएं तिरंगा।
Welcome back to the Midday News. Chief of Army Staff General Manoj Pandey arrived in Dhaka last evening on a 3-day visit to Bangladesh. More from our Dhaka correspondent.
Chief of Army Staff General Manoj Pandey will start his 3-day-long official visit today by laying a wreath at the Shikha Anirban today in Dhaka. During the day, the Army Chief will hold meeting with senior officials of the security establishment and exchange views on various defense-related issues. He will also pay tribute to Bangladesh's father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, at his memorial in Dhanmondi area in Dhaka. On the second day, Chief of Army Staff will address the students and faculty of Defence Services Command and Staff College Mirpur. He will thereafter visit and interact with the members of Bangladesh Institute of Peace Support and Operations Training, which is a premier institute of Bangladesh which trains peacekeepers for employment in various UN peace operations. This will be followed by a visit to the Bangabandhu Military Museum at Mirpur. This is the first foreign visit of General Manoj Pandey after taking over as the Army Chief. Rajesh Jha for AIR News, Dhaka.
12 people died in a bus accident at Dhaar in Madhya Pradesh. The bus, which was going from Indore to Pune, fell into the Narmada River from Khalghat Bridge under Dhamnod Police Station. Dhaar Superintendent of Police Aditya Pratap Singh informed that rescue teams have reached the spot and relief and rescue operations are going on. Expressing grief at the accident, Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan has directed the administration to provide all possible help to the passengers and their families. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has also expressed grief at the loss of lives in the bus accident. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said, "The bus tragedy in Dhaar, Madhya Pradesh is saddening." The Prime Minister said his thoughts are with those who have lost their loved ones. Mr. Modi said an ex gratia of 2 lakh rupees each from the Prime Minister's National Relief Fund will be given to the next of kin of those who lost their lives due to the bus tragedy. He said the injured will be given 50,000 rupees.
Tamil Nadu Day has been celebrated today, as it was on this day that a resolution was adopted by the then Madras Presidency in 1967 and it came to be called as Tamil Nadu. The resolution was moved by the then Chief Minister C.N. Annadurai. It was on the 1st of November 1956 that Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka and Kerala were separated from the Madras Presidency. But it was in 1967 on the 18th of July that the remaining Madras Presidency was called Tamil Nadu. The previous AIADMK government celebrated the day on 1st of November. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin, who spoke on this day, said that the state government will honor Tamil scholars and all those who worked for the betterment of the language. He pointed out that the Tamil community was ancient, which was proved by the artifacts in many parts of the state and also elsewhere. State government buildings have been lighted up for this occasion. And now, let's listen to a special program, Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
In today's episode, we remember social reformer Tukaram Bhaurao Sathe, who died on the 18th of July 1969. Popularly known as Anna Bhau, Sathe worked for the upliftment of depressed classes and played a vital role in Sanyukt Maharashtra Chalwal.
Anna Bhau Sathe was born on the 1st of August 1920 in Vategaon village, part of present-day Maharashtra's Sangli district, in a so-called lower caste family. He migrated from Satara to Mumbai in 1931 on foot over a period of 6 months following a drought in the countryside. In Bombay, Sathe undertook a range of odd jobs. The urban environment of Bombay significantly influenced his writings, which depict it as a dystopian milieu. Though he did not study beyond class 4, Sathe wrote 35 novels in Marathi.
Sathe's use of folkloric narrative styles like Povada and Lavani helped popularize and make his work accessible to many communities. In his novel Fakira, Sathe portrays Fakira, the protagonist, revolting against the rural orthodox system and British Raj to save his community from utter starvation. There are 15 collections of Sathe's short stories, of which a large number has been translated into many Indian and as many as 27 non-Indian languages. Besides novels and short stories, Sathe wrote a play, a travelogue on Russia, 12 screenplays and 10 ballads in the Marathi Povada style.
Anna Bhau was a significant figure in the Indian People's Theatre Association and in the Samyukta Maharashtra movement, which sought the creation of a separate Marathi-speaking state through a linguistic division of the extant Bombay state. He was influenced by the teachings of Baba Saheb Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar and used his stories to amplify the life experiences of depressed classes and workers.
Anna Bhau continued to work for the betterment of the society till his death. All India Radio salutes the great social reformer.
We also remember Mata Rohini Barua, who was sentenced to death on the 18th of July 1935. Born in 1915, Barua was an active member of the Jugantar Party and had participated in the Chittagong Armory raid. Barua assassinated Sub-Inspector Sayyid Irshad Ali, the tyrant officer in charge of the Gwalundo Ghat police station.
In November 1943, AIR News salutes the great freedom fighter.
We also remember independence activist Ishwar Singh, who took part in the First War of Independence in 1857. He was finally captured and tried for desertion and mutiny against the British authorities. Ishwar Singh was sentenced to 14 years imprisonment with hard labour and irons in November 1858. He died during imprisonment on the 18th of July 1859 in the Andaman Islands. AIR News salutes the brave son of the soil.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
In Sri Lanka, according to a government notice released yesterday, Acting President Ranil Wickremesinghe has declared a fresh state of emergency. An extraordinary gazette has been issued declaring a state of emergency across the island with effect from today. According to the gazette, the public emergency in Sri Lanka has been declared in the interest of public security, the protection of public order and the maintenance of supplies and services essential to the life of the community. Earlier, Mr. Wickremesinghe had also announced a state of emergency last week after President Gotabaya Rajapaksa fled the country to escape a popular uprising against his government. However, it was unclear whether that order has been withdrawn or had lapsed, or whether Mr. Wickremesinghe had reissued the order in his capacity as acting president. Sri Lanka's leaders have imposed a state of emergency several times since April. Local media reports the country's commercial capital Colombo remained calm this morning with traffic and pedestrians out on the streets. Today is International Nelson Mandela Day. The day is a celebration of the 67-year-long fight of former South African President Nelson Mandela's fight against racial discrimination and human rights abuses. We have a report.
Nelson Mandela devoted his life to the service of humanity as an international peacemaker and the first democratically elected president of a free South Africa, a prisoner of conscience, and as a human rights lawyer. He is also known for his work towards empowering women and men regardless of their religion and ethnicity and promoting dialogue and solidarity for justice and lasting peace. In recognition of the former South African president's contribution to the culture of peace and freedom, UN General Assembly declared 18th of July as Nelson Mandela International Day in its resolution in November 2009. Nelson Mandela, who often dubbed as Gandhi of South Africa, had a strong Indian connection. An avowed Gandhian, Madiba, as Mandela was affectionately also known around the world, always praised Gandhi for his principles of Satya and Ahimsa and followed his philosophy. He chose the land of Gandhi as his first destination, whom he called his political guru and a role model. He first visited India in 1990 when he was released from jail after more than 27 years for leading the anti-apartheid movement in South Africa. Soon after Mandela's release, the government of India had honored Mandela with the Bharat Ratna, India's highest civilian honor. As South Africa's first black president from 1994 to 1999, Mandela drove close relations with India and the two countries forged bonds over groupings like BRICS and IPSA. P.V. Varghese for AR News.
In Nepal, government has extended an 81-day-old import ban on 10 types of goods till the end of August, citing lack of improvement in the country's foreign currency reserves. As per the notice published in the Nepal Gazette yesterday, mobile phones priced over $300 and motorcycles with an engine capacity of over 150 cc shall be barred entry till 30th of August, along with liquor, tobacco products, diamond, color TV sets larger than 32 inches, jeeps, cars and vans, dolls, playing cards and snacks. The government notice said the ban is enforced to safeguard the external financial position and balance of payments in order to forestall any imminent threat to the economy. Vice Chief of Army Lieutenant General B.S. Raju today flagged off a motorbike expedition from the National War Memorial in New Delhi. To commemorate the 23 years of victory over Pakistan in Kargil War of 1999 and celebrate the spirit of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, the Indian Army has organized a motorbike expedition from New Delhi to the Kargil War Memorial at Dras in Ladakh. Over the next 6 days, the team of 30 serving personnel who have embarked on this dream expedition will endeavor to replicate the indomitable spirit of the Kargil bravehearts by rekindling the spirit of fortitude, courage and adventure, synonymous with the Indian Army. The bike rally will pass through Haryana, Punjab, Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh before culminating the expedition at the Kargil War Memorial Dras on the 26th of this month.
Now let us take a quick look at the weather update for the day. National capital Delhi is expected to have generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle at one or two places. Minimum temperature was recorded at 28 degrees, maximum expected to be around 37. Mumbai expected to have generally cloudy sky with heavy rain. Chennai is likely to have thunderstorm with rain. Kolkata is likely to have partly cloudy sky with one or two spells of rain or thunder showers. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Polling to elect the 16th President of India at Parliament House, along with different state assemblies, is underway, counting to be taken up on Thursday. Monsoon session of Parliament began today. Both houses of Parliament adjourned for the day following requests by opposition members on price rise and other issues. NDA Vice Presidential candidate Jagdeep Dhankar files his nomination papers. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address Naval Innovation and Indigenization Organization Seminar Swavalamban in New Delhi this evening. New rates of goods and services tax on a number of items come into effect from today. Chief of Army Staff General Manoj Pandey is in Dhaka on a 3-day official visit to hold meetings with senior officials of the security establishment and exchange views on various defence-related issues. 12 people die as a bus falls into Narmada River at Dhaar in Madhya Pradesh. Prime Minister Narendra Modi expresses grief at the loss of lives. And today is International Nelson Mandela Day. And with that, we end the midday news.